Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. We're going to get started with the live stream here momentarily. We'll give it another minute or so for people to jump on. Last minute live stream. So we'll just give it just a little bit and people will jump on. Got an exciting update with regards to the XRP ETF acknowledgement. We'll discuss what that means, what to expect going forward, and we'll take a look at the chart, the price action, days, weeks, months ahead. There's also a social media influencer with over 2 million subscribers who is basically just, personal finance, shilling XRP, essentially, saying it could go to $100 per coin. So we'll discuss all of that more. Like I said, we'll get started here in about half a minute or so. See, we have a ton of people rolling in. Welcome, welcome. Let us know where you're tuning in from, and we'll get started here momentarily. Mr. Mankey in the house. What's up? What's up? VIP member, thank you for being a member. I appreciate it. Thanks for joining the stream as well. All right, we'll get things kicked off. We'll get started. I'm sure people will continue to roll in. We got a couple dozen people on the live stream so far. Like I said, I expect that to continue to climb. It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, everybody. Your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Today's Thursday. It's February 13th, and as expected, we did get the acknowledgement from the SEC on the XRP ETF. And a lot of people are confused by what this means. So what does it mean? We'll discuss that. When should we actually see an XRP ETF? I'll discuss my thoughts and opinions on that. And we'll give timelines. We can take a look at the XRP chart and the price action and the technicals, what to expect in terms of that in the days, weeks, months ahead. And we've got a few other things that we want to discuss here as well. So going to be a good video here today. So giddy up. We'll get started. Make sure to smash the like. Let us know where you're tuning in from. And subscribe, all that good stuff. Tick the bell to be notified on any future content. And as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. Never buy or sell anything based on anything that I say or write. And full disclosure, I do own XRP. It's my largest crypto holding by a long shot. And yeah, very, very bullish. You can follow us over on X as well, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. So just in, the SEC acknowledges Grayscale's 19B4 filing for its spot XRP ETF. And essentially what it is and you got this lock-in picture, Brad Garlinghouse. I love it. But yeah, acknowledged, not approved, but still a good bump. So essentially, it means that we're on the right track. It means that, this is an acknowledgement, means they're reviewing it, and that it could very well come to fruition in the not too distant future. They also acknowledge Doge as well. I'm in the camp of thinking that Litecoin's probably going to be the first, and then a toss up between XRP, Doge, and Solana. Can't believe we're even putting Doge in the same arena, but it is what it is. It's been around, since a dog's age, no pun intended, but a little silly when you think about it. I always say that options in the stock market and meme coins in crypto are truly the true casinos of the stock and the crypto market, and leverage and all that good stuff and margins. So you want to be very, very careful with all of those that I just said. But as I said, Watcher Guru reported that just in, the SEC acknowledges the Grayscale's essentially conversion of the trust into a spot XRP ETF, which just means that whenever you buy XRP through this ETF, they actually have to hold the underlying asset, which is XRP, similar to a Bitcoin or Ethereum ETF that is available now, a spot ETF. So again, while this is just an acknowledgement, it's not an actual approval. A lot of people were confused by that. It's a step in the right direction, as they mentioned here. Showed it to Tommy Gunn there, but it's basically the step ahead of an approval. So I went ahead and looked into it. I couldn't really find anything quickly on Google, but gotta love Grok. Shout out to Elon and X. How long did it take after the SEC acknowledged Bitcoin's 19B-4 filing for an ETF to launch? So the time between the SEC acknowledging Bitcoin's filing and the launch of the Bitcoin spot ETF was relatively short in the context of regulatory processes. According to information available on the web, the SEC acknowledged the 19B-4 filing for various Bitcoin ETFs, and a similar thing happened today, right? And that was on January 5th, 2024. These ETFs started trading on January 11th, 2024, which means there was approximately a 6-day period from acknowledgement to trading commencement. This timeline indicates that from the acknowledgement of the 19B-4 forms to the actual launch of the ETS, the process was completed within about a week, showcasing an expedited process compared to typical regulatory timelines. So you have to remember that this is Bitcoin, the favored, right? The godfather, the end all be all, essentially, the the maxis, second coming of Christ, essentially. So when it's Bitcoin, they probably wanted to get it through as quickly as possible. So, one has to wonder if XRP might take a little bit longer because of that, and the fact that it's still going through litigation with Ripple and the SEC. So we'll see what happens with regards to this. But, on the best case scenario, I would say maybe a week and we get an actual approval of the ETF. But I would say more realistic time frame is probably a couple weeks to a month. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section or in the live chat. If you agree with me, disagree with me, always love hearing from you, and always open to other perspectives as well, right? So this is kind of interesting too, because if you remember, Jeremy Hogan, a legal expert in the crypto space, very, very popular lawyer and attorney, he said that he believes that the most likely scenario is we get a case resolution with the Ripple versus SEC before an XRP ETF. And I think that's kind of bass backwards, because why would that be the case? Like, it doesn't matter that Ripple's going through the SEC. Ripple isn't XRP. Yes, they're kind of determining whether or not it's not in and of itself a security that's up in question. We know that it's not a security. That's the law of the land. But they're talking about, the institutional sales, etc. So, at the end of the day, I don't think that matters. Like, we have tons of ETFs for securities, right? The S&P 500, Apple's in an ETF and it's a security, right? So I don't really understand that logic. But, not downplaying the dude. He's very smart. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow we find out that the case ends. I don't know. But, I think it is sooner than later. It could be paused. I think they could very well pause the case. They just did it with Binance for 60 days. Why is 60 day important? Because that window is generally how long is what it's expected to take for Paul Atkins to come in. So essentially it's just a stopgap to get us there, pause all this nonsense. And then the Gary Gensler and, the other former commissioners, their lawsuit era, their 10-year era lawsuits are probably going to come to an end, and it's probably going to be a pause and then a full-blown dismissal or a settlement. I think a settlement's probably the most likely scenario still, but interesting to see that Jeremy Hogan thought it was going to be the other way around. I always said it's going to be ETFs first and then the case resolution. Why? Because they'll use it as exit liquidity. Everybody and their dog will be able to buy in their traditional brokerage account and their stock account, buy an ETF, right? Just like you would a stock or any other ETF, and then, launch the ETFs. We'll see massive upside, because some people are saying, well, Ethereum launched its ETF and it's been brutal. Yeah, but Ethereum was at $80 in March 2020 and then now trading almost 4,000. So I would say that the run's pretty much over, whereas XRP just barely hit a new all-time high, and it's actually not hitting a new all-time high compared to some exchanges saying 380. So if we get into the 380s, 390s, then it's a brand new all-time high. And then, like, Ethereum didn't stop at its all-time high; it continued to soar. So why would XRP stop on an ETF approval? I don't understand that. Plus, I bet you any money you're going to see way more interest in XRP ETFs volume-wise on a comparative basis to Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's going to absolutely dwarf it, in my opinion. And I can't wait to buy ETFs. I think a lot of these people that are waiting for no tax cryptos as well is a very bad decision, because hopefully it works out for you. But for the love of God, make sure you do not hold it all, right? I'm not telling you to buy, sell, or hold. I'm just making sure that you understand that you really think about it. You really have to make this decision on your own. But I would very much recommend that you give this a long, hard thought. If you're going to hold it for no tax cryptos, you better be taking some profits, I hope, because I could just see this happening. Everybody's going to be like, oh, I'm going to hold until the no tax cryptos. We have our new administration and savior in office. We're going to get no tax cryptos on Make America MAGA cryptos, made in America. Okay, I hope that happens. I hope you're able to sell 100% of your bags at no tax. But here's the deal. You could very well miss your chance to sell if you're waiting for that and then have to endure a bear market. Imagine if XRP goes to 10 or 20 bucks and you don't sell waiting for no tax crypto, and then there's an 80, 90% correction in the market and it drops back down to around $3 or $2. Are you going to live with yourself, right? Are you going to be able to stomach that? So you have to really get real with yourself now. And I think these ETFs are going to be exit liquidity for these market makers, right? They're going to suck everybody in at the last, and they'll use the ending of the lawsuit, in my opinion, in partnerships, Bank of America, no tax crypto, all that rhetoric, strategic reserve, sovereign wealth fund, all this stuff, stablecoin gaining adoption, more partnerships, right? CBDCs around the world, tokenization of real world assets and stocks and bonds, to quote Larry Fink. So, I really do think that they're going to approve the ETFs. Maybe I'm wrong. I would happily be wrong, because if the case ends, it's probably going to be a massive, massive green god candle, right? So I always think that said that I think that we're going to see ETFs approved first, and then the case resolution. That'll be the cause for the blow off top, maybe even additional partnerships and all of the other catalysts that I mentioned, and stablecoin legislation, market structure bill in the U.S., clear rules of the road in terms of a regulatory perspective, and then that's the blow off top, right? But the case ending is essentially going to be the nail in the coffin to create that blow off top, and then the ETFs. I think it just makes sense to have them approved first, so that it makes it easier for everybody to buy it. It's now on Robinhood and all the exchanges since the judgment came out. So I think that makes the most sense. Let me know again if you agree with me, disagree with me, and curious to hear your thoughts. But Andre Jeek, I think his name is. This dude has 252 million subscribers, and he's been a long time hater of XRP, but now that it gets some views, of course he likes it, right? So he didn't spend the time researching it because that's not initially, it wasn't what was getting views. But then once the XRP army happened, right, DAI and all these other huge influencers started to spread the word, then word caught on, that, oh my God, like there's a there, right? There's something here. And XRP was created by original Bitcoin developers to be a better Bitcoin, to solve the problems, the scalability issues, the energy issues, the cost, the slowness, the scalability, all of this stuff, right? Imagine if we just created dial-up internet and we stopped there. Or imagine we just created analog phones and stopped there. We didn't create digital phones, right? Why do we need another phone? This one's perfect. It was the first, it's the best, it's the first, and it's going to be the end. That's it. No more innovation. Why are we going to stop at Bitcoin when clearly it's the most antiquated, like least technological coin? Like even Dogecoin's more technical than technically advanced than Bitcoin, right? A meme coin, for Christ's sake. So, this guy's saying why XRP could hit $100. Of course, he prefaces with saying that, I was a long time disbeliever, skeptic, blah, blah, blah. He gives all the good, the bad, the ugly. But, in my opinion, if you've seen this video, let me know what you think. I think it's a good thing overall that, he's getting the word out to 2.52 million subscribers and people. And then additionally to that, people who aren't even subscribed. But don't think it's going to $100 this cycle. I don't subscribe to that. I think, I've been on record to say, look at my video, why I think four major reasons why I think it's going to 12 to 14 bucks. Or sorry, 14 to 16 bucks. I think $8 to $12, very doable. Somewhere around that 15 to 17 bucks, most likely scenario. And then on the high end, somewhere around 18 to 25 bucks. But again, don't make sure you think about it now, right? If it goes to $20 and then crashes back down to $3, are you going to be okay? Being one of those people that is waiting for no tax crypto or $100 to come this cycle, right? It's probably going to be the next cycle. But again, I have a bag. Make sure to check out my XRP exit video. So just type in XRP exit if you go to my channel. That'll be the first video that comes up. It's got over 4K views now and a lot of great feedback from that one. And I give my exit plan and my take profit price levels with an example. And I'll be taking profits along the way. I have a long-term bag. I have an X amount of XRP set aside that I won't be selling ever. I have a certain amount for three-digit XRP, so $100, and four-digit XRP. That would be $1,000. So again, I do think $1,000 XRP is very possible. It's not going to be anytime soon. But overall, great video. I think he left out a lot of key parts. But at the end of the day, love to see that we're garnering more attention, and these YouTubers that are they're actually career YouTubers. I don't care if I get views or likes or any of that crap. I got enough money. I don't need any more money from YouTube, to be completely honest with you. But these people here, they that's all they care about is money and views and clicks and engagements and stuff like that. So you really got to question these people though, right? Like they can finally see the light after 8 years of the XRP army hammering it in their face and them coming back like, but Bitcoin was first. It's like, oh, that's your argument? Nice, thoughtful discourse. Congratulations. You have negative IQ. So we're going to end the conversation here. But then after 8 years and they finally start to see like, oh, XRP is a better store of value than Bitcoin. It actually is deflationary and burns a little bit of XRP every time it transacts. Not even Bitcoin does that, right? So, and Ethereum is adding to the supply forever, right? And will probably never be deflationary. It's inflationary, which is the exact opposite of that's why crypto was created in the first place, was because of money printing and debasement of the dollar. So because they can get views now, like how many views is this? 259,000 views. So this guy probably made No wonder he likes XRP, right? He's probably in this video. He said he only owns like $10,000 worth of XRP. He probably made $10,000 on this video. So yeah, it's usually around like 3,000 views. No, what was it? 12,000 views is usually around like $70 US. I'm pretty sure. So 260,000 divided by 12,000 is and then times it by 70. So yeah, okay, he made about $1,500 to $2,000 this video, and then how many people donated to him and tipped him and said thanks, and all of this other, subscribed to his course that he sold at the end. So this guy probably made easily $2,000, if not $5,000 plus off of this video, and it just was 22 hours ago. No wonder the dude likes XRP. And this is what they won't tell you, right? This is what YouTubers won't tell you. But you come here not for the fluff and the clickbait and the being told what you want to hear. I tell you what you need to hear, and I tell you the truth. I tell you the facts, and I tell you the cold hard fact of the matter, right? So XRP broke out of we had another pennant, and yeah, it's just one after the other here. But breaking bull, we have kind of that sell the news. News came out, ended up being a positive reaction, but ended up being a bit of a sell the news event here, but still above that. Coming back down to back test. We'll jump into the chat here in a moment as well, but we are seeing a nice recovery here. On average, most names down around 3%. And Litecoin has been showing some notable strength as well the last few days. And like I said, I do think that Litecoin could go on to become one of the best performers in Altseason. Should see $800 to $1,000 Litecoin, I think, by the end of this cycle, the next few months, in my opinion. At least some point before the end of the year, I would think. And a nice big daily bull flag by the looks of it. So looking good. But yeah, XRP, daily bounce underway. And look at that massive wick there off of 176. So already up, like after that, it was up about 60%. But currently from the low there to the high of the day today, we were up about 47% off of that low. So overall, not a bad reaction. And again, it's just an acknowledgement. It's not an actual approval. Once it's approved, then I think the money's going to flow in, and then it's going to create more of a multiplier effect. But essentially, this is just the next step before the actual approval. And again, if you're joining late, Bitcoin spot ETF was a relatively short period in terms of the regulatory process. So again, according to the web, and the SEC acknowledged the 19B4- filings for various Bitcoin ETFs January 5th. Those ETFs started trading on January 11th. So about a week, 6-day period. So love to see it. See what else we can see here. Weekly time frame, still a weekly inside bar. So we want to see the weekly bounce get underway as soon as possible. And monthly time frame, we had a brief monthly consolidation and higher low. This is what you want to see. You want to see some support established along the way, and you want to see bulls eager to buy the dip. And boy, boys and girls, were they ever eager to buy the dip there. All right, XRP here on the weekly time frame. So we're struggling with that 10-week moving average, that 250 level psychological. Bitcoin in that 98K level. Yeah, I think it was 98. Yeah, around 98, 99. So just under that $100,000 mark for Bitcoin has been the brick wall, and XRP is struggling now with 250. I remember when I was struggling with 50 cents, and now here we are $2 higher, and some people are still confused. Well, not confused. Complaining is the word, the C word I was looking for. But yeah, we already had the stochastic, the bear cross out of the way on the weekly time frame. So let's see if we can get back into the positive momentum to the upside. And we had our 50 weekly and 100 and 200 weekly moving average bull cross. Like I said, this is definitely not the end of this run, in my opinion. Do you think we're really just going to basically hit the previous all-time high and then stop? Not a chance, in my opinion. Daily time frame, we're bumping our head right at the 50-day moving average. That was at 264. So if we can get 2, preferably 3 candle closes above that, then I think we're in good shape. And then I think we're off to the races. And then, like I said, if we can get this weekly bounce underway, and that would be a break of 279, I think, like I said, it's going to be showtime. All right, jumping into the chat. Love to see it. Yeah, we'll just take a quick peek too at the X. I go here all the time now for my news, but Yeah, so for everyone asking what it means, the SEC has acknowledged Grayscale's NYSE's 19B-4 application to convert its XRP trust into ETF, as I mentioned. No, it doesn't mean automatic approval, and it doesn't even guarantee the SEC will approve it down the line. So why is it notable? Because it means the SEC is being more open-minded and not flat out refusing to consider these products. Recall, exchanges pulled the Sol 19B4 DAS applications in December when Gensler's SEC signaled it would not engage with them. And there's been some allegations, like in the, I think it was the Coinbase lawsuit, saying that they're registered, they had registered unregistered securities, and some of them mentioned were Sol. To be sure, there's still a whole process to go through with all of these new crypto ETF filings, LTC, Doge, Sol, XRP. But this is a good first step, as it means there's at least a chance. So you're saying there's a chance that these products could launch in the future. Next up, the SEC could approve the XRP ETF applications from issuers that follow later than Grayscale. That includes Bitwise Invest, 21 Shares, Canary Funds, Wisdom Tree Funds. Imagine if a BlackRock, they're going to be jumping into it. Don't even worry about that. It's not a question of if, it's only a question of when. The 240-day window for Grayscale's approval starts when it gets posted to the Federal Register, which should be in a couple days from now. So it could be a while. But again, if we look at the precedent that we have from Bitcoin, it was only 6 days. Now I'm not of the thinking that XRP is going to be treated the same as Bitcoin. Like I said, Bitcoin's the darling, right? The doll in the space, right? Everybody loves Bitcoin. It's the mass marketing machine. Same thing with Ethereum, but for a while people didn't know what Ethereum was. Now pretty much everyone does. But Ethereum's almost Bitcoin status now. But yeah, Bitcoin, I think they were going to put a bigger rush on it. Just because they wanted to, kind of get the blow off top going and see that rotation soon into altcoins. But yeah, I think that, a couple weeks is probably the most likely scenario to a month before we see the XRP ETF approved. But I do think it's going to be sooner than later. I don't think it's going to be like a year or 6 months or anything like that. But again, curious to hear what everybody else has to say about it. Mr. Mankey says, I hope Tilray gets above $1 before that 30-day time. Yeah, I'm indifferent. Like I said, ACB, they did 2 reverse splits, and it seems like that might be the recipe for success. If you do 2 reverse splits, people forget, and the thing just explodes 100%, and then everybody thinks it's the one to own. And I will remind everybody that INSG, a 5G play in Seago Corp, this thing did a reverse split, a 1 for 10, I believe it was. Yeah. So, same with like a lot of MJ names, and the thing ran 1,200% after. So it went from $1.62 to $20.67 in 9 months. So essentially, if you invested $1,000, it would now be worth $12,000. So reverse splits aren't the end of the world. Doesn't mean they're not great, but it doesn't mean that names can't recover after that. Something we don't have to worry about in crypto. Priya would be nice to good. Yeah, absolutely. We got Jam in the house. Hello, Rod. We got Niz, XRP, #1. Absolutely. I think XRP will become the #1. And if you haven't seen this video, XRP, if I probably just type in Ripple XRP, should come up. Oh, maybe that was a little too ambitious. Yeah, definitely too. So Ripple, if you just type in Ripple valuable, XRP could become the world's most valuable crypto. Not price-wise, it's going to be market cap, right? It's not going to hit $100,000 like Bitcoin. In terms of market cap, it's going to be the most valuable. And then Ripple, in terms of market cap, again, not price, market cap, Ripple's going to be the most valuable company. I think Ripple will be bigger than Amazon, Apple, maybe even all of them, like those 2 companies combined, when it's all said and done, whether it's 5, 10, 20 years from now. But I'm as close to 100% confident in that as possible. And I do believe XRP will completely dwarf everything else. Like it's going to be the XRP dominance chart that we'll be watching when it's all said and done. I truly believe that. Your volume is a bit low. Yeah, it's not, it's the streaming software. It's got a mind of its own. Like one day I'll turn my computer on and I can see the volume. Like I can see the microphone levels, and I've got it all the way up. I'm speaking right into the microphone, and it's only at like 70% volume metric here. And then some days I'll just wake up and it'll be fine. It'll be like railing, hitting the red, and like at like 99, and it'll be all muffled and cracky because it's so high. And then I'll use like another streaming software, and it's completely fine. So it's this streaming software. It's even happened a few other times with different streaming softwares. and I even got a brand new computer and it's doing the same thing. So I don't know. It's gonna have to be as good as it is. But appreciate you letting me know, Jam. You can't have them approved first because no regularity. Sorry, regulation regulatory clarity. I think is what you meant. Yeah, you can't. Why not? I did see it wasn't subscribed. I did see it wasn't subscribed. Oh, you mean on the video? Yeah, I mean, I don't like. I'm not opposed to subscribing. Like, I'll subscribe to him, I guess. But yeah, to be completely honest with you, like, I'm not gonna not subscribe to the guy, but um, yeah, like, I'm not gonna like he posts a lot of stuff, right? Like, I'm not really interested in, and he's like very catered to, like, the masses, like deep seek, like, yeah, Robin Hood, like, I don't really care. um like, it's just mass appealing to masses. But yeah, I really don't really respect people who, we were shoving this in their faces for 8 years, and now that it's getting them views, right? That's when they're interested in it. And I bet you it's not because of their ego. I bet you it's not because of they suddenly had a revelation with their ego, and they just, put their ego aside and said, "I'm gonna I'm gonna look into this XRP thing." No, he's a YouTuber. He's got analytical software, I guarantee you, and he's probably got somebody hired to do SEO and different analytics for his channel. And they're saying, like, look at Martin Lucas Investor, his channel. If you just go and check it out, and like, he's got over 250,000 views in 23 hours. This will be at 1 million views in no time. Right? He's going to make easy $5,000 to $10,000 just off of that video, and then his courses. He might even make 20 grand. Like, and then he said in that video he only has $10,000. Right? So Martin Lucas Investor, like, it's kind of similar. Like, he's like, well, not similar. In the case, like, he's way better in my opinion. Like, his setup is like next level, right? Like, Martin Lucas is the king in terms of entertainment and his setup. Like, it's really impressive. But if you look at all his videos, like, most of them, he just only recently got into XRP, and probably a lot of that was because of Sensei Crypto. And, people were skeptical and had to get convinced, but he says he doesn't even own XRP. But if you go here and you search by the most popular, XRP, 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 134K views, 51. So he's got 134K views in 2 months. And that Andre guy has over 260,000 views in 22 hours. It's nuts. So, I respect Martin Lucas Investor because, he didn't turn a blind eye for 8 years, right? And he even still doesn't even own XRP, right? He said he bought it and sold it at like $1, I think he said. So, I mean, that's fine. Like, but, it's the influencers that only want to pump something or talk about something or finally look into it and try to understand it and get to the truth, only when they know that it's going to get them views, right? Like I said, they got an SEO expert, an analytical expert, all of these different metrics that we use on social media, and content creators use, like TubeBuddy and stuff like that. They're using that, and they're seeing that XRP is getting all these other content views, and they're looking at Google Trends and things like that. So I guarantee you, like, obviously he didn't make that video for XRP. Why? Because he said he only owns $10,000 worth of XRP. If he actually researched XRP and knew what it meant and knew what it was, knew what the value proposition was, and believed in it, he'd own a lot more than 10,000. Like I said, I guarantee you he made more off of that video dollar-wise than he even holds XRP, right? So personally, no, I don't respect that, but I'm not going to not subscribe to the guy. This is also one of my personal accounts, not my main YouTube account. I'm not going to subscribe to everybody because then it's overloading my feed, right? I can't. It's like video overload, right? I'm and I try not to get too much into other people's videos anyway, because I want to remain unbiased, and I want to give my own thoughts and opinions mostly, versus getting news from different sources is different. But when it comes to listening to all these videos and different content creators, I just do the research myself. And yeah, I do use YouTube and stuff like that, but I usually select a few, and I'm not going to go subscribe to somebody, who talks about XRP for the first time in 8 years just because it's getting them views. I'm going to go to the person who's been talking about XRP for 8 years, right? But yeah, I don't think you need to have regulatory clarity. Technically, Bitcoin doesn't have regulatory clarity, right? Like, Bitcoin, neither does Ethereum. Like, Ethereum was definitely an unregistered security during the ICO, and it has an ETF. And there's no law of the land. There's no regulations in the US. There's no commodity or anything designation. Like there's no court. There's nothing from Congress. There's nothing from court cases or court like from law, right? Saying that Bitcoin or Ethereum, like literally XRP is the only one that has regulatory clarity. So why wouldn't it get an ETF? Makes no sense. GameStop to invest in Bitcoin. Yeah, I did see that as well. Did I not bring that up? Oh, my bad. Yeah, I thought I brought that up. I completely skipped over it. Where is it? Yeah, right here. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, just in GameStop, GME considers investing in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Keywords, other cryptocurrencies. It's just the start, folks. The U.S. Strategic Reserve, that was created, in my opinion, for American-made cryptos, and then they created the sovereign wealth fund so the Bitcoin maxis didn't feel left out and start balling themselves and BMT like Bitcoin maxi tears, crying themselves to sleep. So I think it can't go in the strategic reserve because that's going to be like a boatload of money and it's for the U.S. The sovereign wealth fund, like maybe they just put a little bit into Bitcoin. I don't know. Why are you going to buy Bitcoin at all-time highs anyway? Like that's just stupid. But I mean, if they're holding it for 20 years, I guess. But like, why would you buy Microsoft at all-time highs when you could probably wait a year or two and get it for a 20 or 30% discount? I would never buy anything at all-time highs for the first time. Like that'd just be the stupidest. Like it hurts my brain to even think about, honestly. Like why? Imagine going into a store and being like, "Hey, can you let me know when your product or service is the most expensive ever, and then I'll consider buying it. But I don't want it if it's cheap." It's like completely asinine. When is the alt? Yeah, that's a good question, and that's a good point too. Coinbase had earnings; they beat expectations, absolutely killed it. But yeah, what GME doing? Up 6%. Yeah, just like chump change. This thing can do a lot more than 6%. Get a little good old fashioned short squeeze going. Throat's doing something weird at the moment, but we'll be wrapping up this stream here shortly. There's one thing I was going to do and I forget. Oh yeah, Altseason. When Altseason? So just go to videos on my channel. And I literally probably make a video for everything that everybody's ever asked me in bulk. So yeah, are we already in Altseason? My thoughts and opinions. And when will Altseason end? Watch these clues. So everything will be in those two videos for you. But great question. OTS done with ETF. I don't know what that means. Maybe you can clarify. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe it's done with ETF. Okay, yeah, maybe you meant it's done, not O instead of. You meant to put an I instead of an O. It's done with ETF. Yeah, it's not done. No, it just means that it's acknowledged. I mentioned this and then I pulled this up later on in the video, but she did a great job, Eleanor Tourette, breaking it down. It just means that it's acknowledged. They're looking into it. It's not for sure that they're going to be approving it. But like I said, Bitcoin's 19B-4 filing was acknowledged on January 5th, and they approved it on January 11th, so 6 days later, about a week. I don't think it's going to be quick like that because I think Bitcoin is favored, and the precious crown jewel, if you will, of the crypto space. I think XRP is probably going to be more into the multi-week, if not month or so, before it gets approved. I think Litecoin will get approved first, and then it's going to be a toss-up between Dogcoin, Doge, and XRP and Solana. I'm shorting XRP down to 215, then reversing position. Yeah, I would have probably done that at the all-time high, right? Like we crashed 48% for 50%. So history would show that in a bull market, it is normal to kind of pull back 40 to 60%. Like in 2017, XRP actually, bringing up the chart here, in 2017, XRP, it broke out of this previous all-time high, and then before it had its final blow-off top moment, it saw wait, no, that's not it. Oh, I'm still on GME. What's going on here? There we go. I was like, I knew that didn't look right. So yeah, here this symmetrical triangle that was forming here, similar to what was doing now, and it broke out. So look what happened, right? We had this massive, broke the all-time high. We had new price discovery, and then look, we pulled back 68% before going another 25x, 2,500%. So, and you have to remember that the law of diminishing returns, the higher the price gets, the less the returns get. It's like Amazon, right? You're not going to, like, the chances of making like a 10x on Amazon are almost impossible now, or it's going to take multiple years. You might be dead by the time that happens. Or like 10 or 20x, right? Might never happen. Or you might die before then. Whereas XRP, could easily 20x, but the higher the price gets, the bigger the market cap, the harder it is to get the returns. But it also means that the volatility to the downside is reduced, right? So the pullbacks are less and less. So if we pull back 68% last time, I would think maybe 50 to 58% would be the most likely scenario, and we hit 48. So, maybe we come back down and backtest monthly EMA 12. That'd be about a 56. EMA 26 would be around another 68% pullback. So totally possible. That's what happened here. We pulled back and we tested EMA 12. So if we pull back and test EMA 12, that would be from the high at 340. That'd be a pullback for around 58%. And in line with my thinking of law of diminishing returns, less volatility to the upside, also less volatility to the downside, and smaller pullbacks. So yeah, I would caution shorting now. Like we just hit $1.77, right? Tons of money to be made from a short already happened. And yeah, I'd just be very, very cautious. Even entering here on daily consolidation would have been a great entry, right? You could have entered here, shorted that. That would have been an opportunity of 16%. If you held on till daily consolidation, even here you would have been about 20%. So I'd just be very, very cautious. And it's been basing for 8 years. Like this thing's been going sideways, no new all-time highs for 8 years. So this was the last time we had an all-time high. It was in January 2018. So we're now 85 months. So 2,588 days. 2,588 divided by 365. That's just over 7 years without a new all-time high. What is the saying? Longer the base, the higher in space, greater the accumulation, greater the expansion. I certainly wouldn't want to be shorting it now. If you were going to short it, there's tons of opportunity here. 96% pullback, 86% pullback, another one, 64, and we just had a 48. So I'd be very, very cautious shorting it now. He's got 3,600 XRP that he holds till those days is what I heard on the video. Yeah, so he said he basically bought it like way back when, and it's like less. I think he said it's like less than 1% of his portfolio, which to this day it was probably better to own Bitcoin. But it's kind of funny, but you would think he would kind of sell some other stuff and rotate it into XRP, like especially when it was at lower, like. It was at like 30 and 40 cents, and Bitcoin was like pushing 100K. Like what? I personally sold Bitcoin at 50K. Like, yeah, it hit over 100K, but who cares? That's only another 100%, right? I sold Bitcoin at 50K, put that money into XRP at like 20 cents, and now XRP is at 250. That's a lot more than 100 or 200% gain. So yeah, like I'm not telling other people what to do, to each their own. But yeah, again, the fact that he only bought it like back in the early days is less than 1%. Does he really understand the potential, or does he just understand the views that he's going to get on YouTube? And then he probably posts on Rumble and X and all these other, like the guy probably made easily 10 grand on that video, but like give it like a month or two, I bet you he'll make 10 grand. He'll make more than his value of his XRP, guaranteed, absolutely guaranteed. And yeah, what else? Yeah, my portfolio, over 80% of my portfolio right now is in XRP, and my average is 42 cents. So yeah, needless to say, I'm not too worried, and I'm not selling anytime soon. Again, check out just go to my channel and then search XRP exit, and I give you all of my take profit levels with examples, price levels on the chart, everything. And my first take profit level will be $4. That'll be as much as I'll say, but I'm going to start wrapping it up here. Tell older channels but new XRP content creators to kick rocks. Yeah, I mean, it's good. Like I said, it's a net positive overall because they're introducing their audience and they're finally coming around, but it's for all the wrong reasons, right? They're not coming around because they put their ego and pride aside. It's because they know that they're going to make a lot of money off of these YouTube videos and they want views, right? So it's just all the wrong reasons in my opinion, but teach their own. I'm not subscribing to that BS. Yeah. You're right about how you feel, but let's get this money. Yeah. Well, Bitcoin got free pass. Got to ask why. Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, it was, yeah. I mean, Bitcoin got a free pass because we don't know who created it. I would say it's Ethereum that got the legitimate free pass because Bill Hinman himself said, putting aside the fundraising. It's like, why? Why would you put aside? That's the most important part. That's a free pass, yeah. And then he works for the law firm that works for the part of the Ethereum Alliance, and he had 50 million reasons why. Oh, okay, makes sense now. Neither Ethereum nor Bitcoin have legislative or legal clarity. Exactly. You look at any XRPL meme coins. No, I mentioned earlier in the video that like meme coins and options and leverage and margin, all that stuff is the true casino of the stock market and crypto. Why do you need to like you'll get crazy gains just on Bitcoin and Ethereum and XRP, like the top three ones, right? Why do you need to like buy these meme coins? It's that instant gratification, right? They don't want to wait 8 years for XRP to go from 20 cents or 10 cents to $8 or $12, right? Even though that's life changing. People want to buy a meme coin and then be rich next week, right? And like you're already in the most volatile, riskiest, highest risk, highest reward sector. Why do you need to go throw it all on black essentially into meme coins, right? Like in options and putting in like a timeline on it and, risk of total loss and, getting liquidated because of margin called and things like that because of leverage. Like it's just a bad idea in my opinion. I would just be very cautious if you're going to invest in meme coins, like maybe like 1% of your whole like crypto portfolio is what I would recommend. Like maybe 0.1% of your entire net worth. Just be very, very cautious, right? Like Dogecoin, if you bought it in March 2020, right? Like and that didn't even take long. March 2020 on Doge. Why isn't it not finance? There we go. So March 2020, the thing was at a tenth of a penny. And then in June of 2021, it was at 74 cents. So the thing went up 600, like over 600x. So $1,000 into $600,000. You don't need to invest a lot. So if you're going to invest into these meme coins, I would say, unless your net worth is like $1 million, like most people's net worth is probably like 10 to 50,000, you shouldn't be putting in any more than 500 to $1,000 into these things. And you don't need to, because like I said, Dogecoin, March 2020, and then 14 months later, you'd have over $500,000 if you just put in $1,000, right? So just be very careful. Don't put in your whole life savings. Don't risk any more than you're willing to lose. The golden rule, all that stuff, yada, yada, yada. Altseason starts historically in February. Yeah, typically February, great month, and it can last anywhere from like 30 to 90 days. And again, I'm in the camp of thinking that XRP is going to follow this boom and bust cycles of Bitcoin, which is the blue bars overlaid, and we're tracking it very, very similarly, right? And then if we hit our 4.618, that brings us around $14. Bitcoin actually exceeded the 4.618 in price discovery, so that means that maybe XRP could hit like 18 to 20 bucks if it does something similar to Bitcoin, right? And like I said, look how quickly or how similar these boom and bust cycles of Bitcoin price history, all-time history index, and then XRP's all-time price history, very, very similar. And it's saying that we could see anywhere from like that $15 to $16 mark at some point between, March and April potentially. It's not always going to be verbatim, right? But even the times where we lagged, we just had a few God candles in a row where Bitcoin took like 10 or 20 or 10 or so candles, and then XRP goes and catches up in like 3, right? Same thing here. We were lagging, boom, two big ones together, right? 3 big ones, I guess. And then the next one's loading. All aboard the XRP train. And rocket ship. Come up on my rocket ship. Let's go. I just subscribed to your channel. Thank you very much, DZ. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Do not FOMO in. There is a long road ahead. You mean with XRP? Yeah, I mean, people want to buy it now that it's $2.50, but they didn't want to buy it when it was 50 cents back in November, right? It's just the way, it's a weird like phenomenon and psychology aspect of the markets, right? Like I said, imagine going into a store and saying, hey, can you let me know when your product or service that I'm interested in is the highest it's ever been? Or, at least the highest it's been in like a year or 8 years. Because once it's the most expensive, I'm going to come by and buy it, right? But I don't want it when it's on sale and it's the cheapest it's ever been, right? Because people don't want to research. They just think by looking at a price of a stock or a crypto that that's the value, right? That's what determines its value, if it has value or not. When that is absolutely just negative IQ way of thinking, right? Like that couldn't be further from the truth, right? Like Amazon dropped 95% in 2001 in the dot-com bust. Apple almost went bankrupt in 1997 if it wasn't for Microsoft giving them 150 million, right? And they almost went bankrupt. And they weren't selling like MJ stocks, like Schedule 1 illegal drugs at the federal level in the US and crypto with no legislation. Like the same thing happened with the internet. And this is just the next iteration of the internet, right? It's the internet of value, internet of money versus the internet of information and knowledge, right? And it was the same thing in the internet right around the 2000s, right? When we got regulatory clarity. So we're on the cusp. Like I would compare crypto right now to like 1997 ish of the internet and dot-com days. Yes, buy meme coin and get rich is the retail game casino. Yep. It's yeah, but the thing is what people don't understand is when you buy a meme coin, it's already made people millionaires, like tons of people millionaires because they got in at the ground floor opportunity, right? And it's a legit Ponzi scheme, right? There's no utility. It's literally just speculation, number go up. It doesn't do anything. Like it's not being used by any enterprise grade software or nation states or companies or any kind of there's no public good. There's no use case or utility, right? Like no, if you're not solving a problem, no utility, no use case, no value. It's that simple. Otherwise, it's a Ponzi scheme. And you can almost say the same about Bitcoin because like it's not even a store of value. That's not what Satoshi Nakamoto set out for it to be. He said peer-to-peer cash system. No one's using it as peer-to-peer cash system. No one's using it for payments. And that's what it was designed to do in the white paper. It didn't say anything about store of value. That's just a narrative and things that VCs are doing and to pump their bags to continue the train, the gravy train, right? But it actually failed as a currency. So did dial-up internet. It failed as the next, technological evolution, right? Like it was the great first step. It got us to ultimately broadband and high-speed internet, right? And fiber optic. So now information moves at the speed of light. Pretty soon, value and money is going to transfer at the speed of light, all through the same infrastructure, right? But in a decentralized way and no intermediaries. MJ will pop eventually. Have more patience. It's coming. Yeah, I can't wait for. I'm just like I see all these low prices, and I'm like, come on, crypto. Like I need you to. Like I don't really care. Like I'll wait. Like I don't care. I've already waited this long for a lot of my crypto holdings, and I'm finally seeing like wealth generation that people could not even dream of. But I'm okay with waiting longer. It's just the only thing that the kicker is looking at some of these MJ stocks that are like sub $1 or, down like some crazy over 80-90% from all time highs. And you're just like foaming at the mouth, just can't wait to rotate those profits from crypto. But I'm staying disciplined. I'm sticking to my game plan, and I'm going to wait until my take profit levels get hit and are reached. And then I'm going to rotate that into more MJ stocks. And I don't care if I have to buy it a little higher. Ultimately, it's still going to be a crazy cheap bargain and deal, in my opinion. You're welcome, sir. Thank you very much again. Thanks for joining the stream as well and all your contributions. Same thing with everybody else as well. Not selling my 52-cent average anytime soon. I'll wait for big FOMO, XRP. Yeah, exactly. That's a great average, by the way. Bitcoin has zero value in my books. Gold is the store of wealth, not Bitcoin. I agree. Like, I mean, to a certain extent, right? Like gold is the transportability issue, right? You can't easily move gold around. It's clunky. You can't just like, hey, break off a piece of gold like easily. You can't just be like, hey, here's like 10 cents worth of gold, like micro payments, or even just that division aspect, right? Like easily to do it. You can have gold coins and things like that. But, if you have a big bar and you want to give somebody half a bar, well, that's a big process, right? A lot of friction and stuff like that. So, I think, gold is God's money, but, we can like, XRP, for example, is deflationary, and it burns every transaction burns a little bit of XRP. So essentially, there'll never be any more than 100 billion ever created. Whereas there's like asteroids and stuff like that in space now, where like NASA and like all these like different space exploration companies, they're going and extracting gold from these asteroids and stuff, right? So like you're adding to the supply all the time of gold, and like gold's supposedly created from a supernova, right? So who knows? Maybe there's going to be more supernovas in the universe, and it's just inflationary kind of, right? And the supply is endless as long as we can find more of it. Whereas Bitcoin, there'll never be more than 21 million. There's people that say, well, Bitcoin could, there's like 3 mining pools or a couple mining pools in China, and with all of them colluded, that's over 51%, meaning they could change the code and alter the tokenomics and create more if they wanted to. Same thing with XRP. If 80% or plus of the validators vote on increasing the supply, that could happen. I'm pretty sure. But it was very difficult to even get like NFT functionality on the and AMM functionality on the ledger. So yeah, I just can't see that ever happening. And there's going to be more and more nodes, and the best incentive is no incentive, in my opinion. And yeah, I think Bitcoin has some value, but like, yeah, it's hard to say if it's going to make it long term. I don't think it's the best store of value though. And like, I understand gold store of value, and gold's like the only thing that can survive if there was like total annihilation, right? But now we got crypto on satellites in the International Space Station, and I wouldn't be surprised if we got crypto nodes on Mars, right? So eventually, you're going to have all of these, SpaceX nodes and everything, like just orbiting the Earth and different planets, and all the way out in space, and you're going to have essentially the new financial system protected in case of a catastrophe here on Earth, right? So. But with that being said, if every computer on the planet is wiped out, then Bitcoin's no more, right? Assuming there's, like I said, nodes elsewhere. But how long are they going to be maintained and operational for after that? Gold's always going to be around. So, what's my stock? MJ. No, it just means the plant, the substance. Try not to say it on my channel because for some reason you can say fentanyl, but you can't say psychedelic type plant. All right, going in it there. That was fun. I can't believe it's been over 52 minutes. But yeah, I expected it maybe to be 20, 30 minutes. But like I said, every time I come on, it's always a blast. And yeah, I always have a blasty blast. So thanks a lot, everybody, for your contributions. Not a single bot, not a single troll or anything like that in the comments. So I think that's truly something to be proud of, and the best community bar none, in my opinion. So thank you very much. POW Group, everybody who's subscribed, VIP members, POW Group private members, all of you, I really do appreciate all the support. And I just love hearing all the stories that people like, oh, you got me interested into XRP. I bought it when it was at like, 30, 40, 50, 60 cents. And, now it's truly life-changing, and it's just getting started, right? Like, we're not going to just stop at the previous all-time high. That'd be pretty sad, but yeah, give it enough time and things will get pretty great here pretty soon. Thanks, Rod. Cool. Absolutely. All right. Thanks, everybody. Much love. We'll catch you on the next one.